We do know that tens of thousands of pounds of plastic are being used every week in the air cargo industry.
Plastic pollution is real. It's no longer a sideline conversation. It's a growing environmental crisis with measurable consequences. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that plastic ingestion has been recorded in nearly 1,300 marine species, including seabirds, marine mammals, and sea turtles. Based on the data from over 10,000 necropsies, the research shows that ingesting even small amounts of macroplastic can be fatal. For some seabirds, just a few dozen plastic pieces were linked to a 90% likelihood of mortality. The scale is staggering. Around 11 million tons of plastic enter the oceans every year, much of it from poorly managed waste, including packaging. These plastics persist for decades, breaking down into smaller fragments that spread through marine ecosystem and the food chain. And this isn't just a marine issue, it affects all of us. A significant share of plastic waste comes from packaging, which is why sustainable packaging is no longer a sideline conversation in logistics. It's becoming a business essential. As global trade and e-commerce grow, packaging is under greater scrutiny. It's no longer just about moving goods from point A to point B, but about reducing waste, cutting emissions, and proving real sustainability commitment. To explore how all the stakeholders of the air cargo industry, from airlines, airports, freight forwarders, and shippers, are rethinking packaging while consumers are pushing the industry to move faster, we welcome you to the 9th episode of Future of Transport, Innovative and Sustainable, delivered to you by Edmonton International Airport, YEG.
At Edmonton International Airport, YEG, we can handle any size of operation, including oversized, heavyweight, and industrial cargo within the Port Alberta Foreign Trade Zone. Our IATA CEIV pharma community has expertise handling all multi-temperature controlled shipments, including pharmaceuticals, perishable products, advanced agricultural, and high value-added products. Access Canada, the US, and Mexico through a multimodal transportation hub that includes major highways and proximity to 2 national rail lines. This makes YEG a key hub between Asian and North American markets. Sustainability drives every aspect of our cargo business and on-airport ecosystems, making Edmonton International Airport your best choice for investment to move our industry forward to a net zero future. Visit flyeia.com/cargo.
So sustainability integration is one of the key components about our roadmap. We need to work with vendors, tenants, suppliers to make sure we embed sustainability in our operations. That's the most challenging part, but we engage regularly. For example, in terms of procurement, we developed sustainability guidance to make sure when we have a call for proposal or an RFP that we highlight what are the expectations from the airport when it comes to ESG, environmental, social, and governance topics, to make sure any vendors or suppliers that want to work with us understand what is the expectation. We're very excited because we made a lot of progress on that integration the past couple of years, and we have obviously more work to come when it comes to integration of sustainability in the supply chain. But an airport is like a small city, so we need to work with the whole ecosystem that work around the actual airport operation to make it happen.
Clearly, collaboration and integration are critical at every step of the sustainability journey. No single player can drive change alone, especially when it comes to sustainable packaging. From manufacturers and shippers to freight forwarders, airlines, airports, and consumers, there are multiple stakeholders involved. But before looking at individual roles, it's important to understand what sustainability packaging really means. At its core, sustainable packaging aims to reduce environmental impact across a product's entire life cycle, from sourcing and production to transport, use, and disposal. This is done by minimizing waste, lowering emissions, and keeping materials in circulation for longer through smarter design and material choices. There are several approaches in use today. Recyclable packaging uses materials like cardboard, paper, and certain plastics that can be reprocessed. Compostable and biodegradable packaging rely on plant-based or microbial breakdown, while reusable packaging such as returnable mailers supports a circular model. Minimalist packaging reduces excess materials, and recycled content packaging uses previously used resources to cut emissions and dependence on virgin materials. Choosing the right solution isn't about ticking a sustainability box. It's about what works best for the product, the customer, and the logistics flow.
Can you reuse packaging in the last mile? This is a statement done by a company called Florbox from a market survey they did back in Sweden, I believe. And they put the picture there, which is their winning entry. They put a class of university students to the task of making last mile packaging for flowers. And they came up with this flower sleeve which can be taken with a sleeve handle, one piece, fits a solution, can be packed in a box, less paper used, flowers are protected, and it won. This did not take a lot of effort, but it did require a lot of elements to come together in an R&D setting and put together a simple solution. And this is what we are advocating today. What are the other opportunities? Recently, we had a discussion with a group that wants to do a promotion of vases within a box that travels to the end user, and the vase can be used in transit as a shield for the SFK and the rest of it, protect the flowers. When it gets to the end user, it slides down, attaches itself to a plate of some sort, and becomes a vase and can be reused by the buyer. Now, what is the story that that particular enterprise was trying to put out there? They were going to make those vases from recycled plastics. So they were recovering bad plastic from the environment, making use of it. They were going to use locals to paint individually all those plastics and pay money for it. So again, you've got a CSR story again attached to it. That whole product goes overseas. It becomes a selling item for that particular enterprise.
The business case for sustainable packaging is clear. The UN estimates the packaging sector accounts for around 36% of global plastic production, much of it single-use. Shifting to sustainable options helps reduce waste and environmental impact. Consumers are also driving this change, with over 60% of Gen Z and millennials influenced by eco-friendly packaging when making purchases. But as plastics contribute significantly to environmental waste, now the question is, can we completely eliminate plastics?
So what we've developed here is a plastic that we think is a little better. It's not perfect. I do hope that someday we're able to develop a whole new polymer that works the same as plastic. But in the meantime, you're not going to wrap a pallet in paper. So plastic needs to be used. So what we've developed is not a new type of plastic. It's an additive to plastic. So you look at our stretch film, for example. This is still 99% traditional polyethylene, but it has a 1% additive by weight. That's an organic polymer that we developed that what it does is three things. First and foremost, it allows it to still be recyclable in the normal recycling stream. So if your station is collecting the plastic and baling it, you can send it in with that regular plastic, no problem. Right. Two, it makes it a little stronger, and that's a side effect we didn't expect. So by strengthening the plastic, we can make your plastic thinner. For our big customers right now, for example, their pallet covers or ULD covers, we're making them anywhere from 10 to 30% thinner and getting the same performance. So you're using less plastic, which is a tremendous benefit, right? Thirdly, because we can make it thinner, we can actually meet or beat your current costs. And that, at the end of the day, we're all businesses, right? Nobody wants to spend 10 or 20% more for something, even if it's sustainable.
Yeah.
We can do it at the same place. And then finally, we hope that you recycle it. But if, like in the United States, where 95% of flexible films actually go to a landfill, it will allow it to biodegrade in an anaerobic environment. So now we're working with all the major ground handlers, AGI, WFS, Swissport, Menzies. We're working with a lot of the major airlines, American, Delta, United. And then now that we're manufacturing in Europe as well, we've been able to add a lot of the European ground handlers and airlines.
Clearly, sustainable packaging offers operational benefits too. Less waste, lower shipping volumes, and reduced damage, and better use of space. While costs can be higher upfront, sustainable packaging often delivers long-term savings and helps businesses stay ahead of tightening regulations. Let's see how top logistics companies tackle it.
Amazon is innovating across our packaging. So it's not just related to aviation, but whether it's on the air, in the ground, over the last years, we have certainly reduced our footprint on consumables. We're using recycled packaging, and we're limiting the packaging that we're using, just given our sheer volume globally. It's having a large impact on our overall carbon footprint.
In 24 and 25, we have had great success in re-export packaging for E&M industry. So what is happening is there are a lot of E&M manufacturers in India who would export kits, either as CKD or parts, to their plants across the world. And what we are trying to do is eliminate packaging material and create more sustainable, recyclable packaging material in large numbers there. So I think re-export, and that's a very, very, as India becomes a global powerhouse for manufacturing, for Make in India and for export to the globe, I think re-export packaging and ability to create sustainable packaging and ability to stuff a container to its max by using digital tools would be something that we have done very successfully in 24 and 25, but more to happen.
Clearly, everyone in the air cargo value chain is taking their individual steps to make the sector sustainable. Studies show that the global sustainable packaging market is expected to reach $418 billion by 2027. About 85% of consumers say sustainable packaging influences what they buy, and PwC's 2024 survey shows that shoppers are willing to pay nearly a 10% premium for more sustainable products. Combined with tighter regulations, this signals a structural reset, not a passing trend. In air cargo, packaging choices matter even more. Weight, size, materials directly impact aircraft efficiency, fuel burn, and emissions. Smarter, lighter packaging makes environmental and operational sense too. But are sustainable options also available for shipments that require cold chain?
We offer a full portfolio of cold chain packaging innovation, going from single-use, reuse, and more sustainable solutions. As today there's a kind of big push towards more CO2 emission reduction and more sustainable innovation. CCT has actually launched in the second quarter of this year our newest reusable container, the Tower Elite. It's actually the industry most lightweight container that is currently on the marketplace, having the capabilities of interchangeable pallets going from Euros to UK, US. And we are very proud to bring this to market. The company has actually focused very well on the life science industry and the pharma industry. 90% of our solutions today that we bring to market are tailored for these needs. And that industry is actually moving towards more sustainable solutions. So with the acquisition of Tower Cold Chain, we are very proud to bring reusable containers, only passive solutions, which have a range of -20, 228 and 1525, offering a full range of protection for temperature-sensitive pharma products.
Across the air cargo ecosystem, the push to decarbonize is gaining momentum. Airlines are investing in sustainable aviation fuel, airports are electrifying ground support equipment, and the industry is exploring next-generation solutions such as hydrogen-powered systems and geothermal energy. But these transitions don't come cheap. At some point, someone has to absorb the cost of going greener. We already know that many logistics providers and increasingly consumers are willing to pay a sustainability premium. The bigger question now is whether shippers are ready to do the same and to factor sustainability into packaging, transport choices, and overall supply chain decisions.
So we've been on this journey. We first talked about it 4 or 5 years ago when we stated our goals of becoming carbon neutral. It was a no discussion 5 years ago. There is a discussion on the table every time I meet a customer now about this. The willingness to pay a premium, if it was zero at some point of time, I think we moved 25%. There are people who are willing to pay. We charged customers last year.
As more shippers take sustainability initiatives into their own hands, the entire supply chain moves closer to a greener future. Real progress only happens when every link in the chain plays its part. To explore more industry-led efforts shaping green aviation, keep watching Future of Transport Innovative and Sustainable, an air cargo sustainability series delivered to you by Edmonton International Airport YAG. Don't miss out our next episode, the final chapter in this series, where we dive deep into innovations and extraordinary sustainability efforts being driven by Edmonton International Airport. Stay tuned.